Let's talk about our Muskogee School abuses. A boy in a county lockup. Now this is golden, folks. This happened at the Ellis Robertson Middle School in Muskogee Public Schools. A boy was sick. His mother, who doesn't have her own vehicle, it's difficult. I know it's tough to raise kids, especially in a single-parent family. My understanding is, I don't know what the family situation. I do know that transportation is a challenge. She was on local TV. In fact, it was picked up nationally. Her son was sick. She took him to the doctor, had excused absence. She even provided a note to the school, as if that should even be required. But he also missed some additional absences. Now, we've got a truancy law in Oklahoma that says, amongst other things, you can only miss so much before, you're going to have to potentially answer for it. By the way, this fellow in here is not the principal of the school. He is their public relations officer. And yeah, they pay him to try to defend the actions that he had nothing to do with. I feel sorry for him. I believe his name's Steve Braun. But anyway, so here's what happened. He gets to school after, his fourth absence, and the school puts out this policy. They want to make sure that the parents are notified. So if that parent does not sign a statement after four absences in about a month, and the child misses a fifth absence, they do something that's way beyond their legal authority, at least in this situation. And Steve Braun here says that this law's been on the books. It says they have a right to take that child, bring him into the county lockup. Now, it's a juvenile lockup. And they will not let that child out of the lockup until the mother comes and signs whatever paperwork they decide. It's not statutory. It's just up to them. They decide what paperwork she has to sign, confess to, promise to, whatever, before they'll let her son out of the county lockup. Well, here's the problem with that. I took a look at the law, or at least I did my best to research it. Mind you, I'm not an attorney. I don't claim to be, but I can read English. And you know what? Our lawmakers, they aren't trying to be misunderstood. Most of them do a pretty good job when they're writing a bill, and they get help on it, and it's pretty clear. The law, which my understanding went into effect back in 1989, it says that you got a habitual truant. What can happen here? If they find the child unsupervised out in the community, the law enables them to detain the child and take them, and here's the wording, directly either to their parent, or who has custodial care of them, or bring them to school. Now, under certain circumstances, they may be temporarily detained in a youth facility. But the point is, take them physically and bring them either to their parent or to school. Well, here's what these folks did. These bright bulbs down at the Muskogee Public School District waited till the kid was in school, and in front of all the other students, they put him in handcuffs and hauled him off down to the county lockup. If that isn't abuse of power, I don't know what is. And I think Muskogee is about to be hit with a lawsuit, if I have any sense of the outrage of a good parent in Oklahoma who cares. Now listen, it's especially a problem if we've got a child with any kind of mental health, anxiety, developmental disability, anything like that. These kinds of things can be very traumatizing to an adult. Imagine what they can do to kids. So folks, you've got a child at home and they're sick, they might need to see a doctor. And you know what? The doctor may say it may take a few days for him to get well. Well, if that child goes back to school a little bit early, they may have a relapse. You may need to keep them home maybe a day or two longer. If they miss the bus, you certainly don't want them walking out in the cold for a long distance in inclement weather. But for this school to mandate that you've got to take this child and haul them down, potentially pay $200 to see a doctor, which, by the way, if you don't have insurance, that's not unreasonable to expect it to run. But again, to send them for a second time, Muskogee's got to get their act together. They've got to read the law, read the intent of the law, and be in keeping with it. The law does not allow you to take a kid out of school for being absent. The law allows you to bring him to school if he's habitually absent. So we got a problem with Muskogee. I'd like to see that addressed, and I'm hoping the legislature can make it clear, if these people can't understand the language itself, maybe it's time we either clarify it so that other schools in the state don't continue to have this problem.